Well, here we are at the official end of the Exploring Monastic Life program was yesterday. And I think it's worth bringing it to a kind of closure, a kind of culmination in just reflecting on what it means to be exploring monastic life. And for me, the thing that is most important to reflect on after living here for a number of years is how rare it still is to have the opportunity to explore monastic life for, I would say, even non-Himalayan or non-Chinese Buddhists. It's something that I think after living here for a while, I have begun to take for granted a little bit after a number of years, to some extent. That the opportunity to be able to even understand what the monastic tradition, well, first of all, to even have met the Buddhist teachings. Hello. I mean, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1953. There was no Dharma. I don't think there was even much of an Asian community even. I can fairly say there was no Dharma in the city that I was born in. But in the course of my lifetime, through, in some cases, I mean, horrific conditions, actually, for the Tibetan people, through their suffering, through their determination not to lose their practice, to, as soon as they got to India, those people who escaped, they set up their monasteries and continued to practice. They did not let even losing their country stop them from practicing the Dharma. And for the monastics who fled, and still to this day, there are nuns I know that are joining the nunneries in South India that are fleeing from Tibet, who are not letting losing their country stop them from keeping their ordination, doing their practice, and fulfilling their deeper mission of becoming Buddhas for the benefit of sentient beings. And so out of their suffering, out of their commitment then and determination to continue no matter what, we have this opportunity today. And it's through the determination of others, like Venerable Children and Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo and Venerable Steve too. I mean, there are other monastics who, hippies who went to India just looking, but they also had this incredible opportunity to study directly with the masters who had escaped, and have the brilliance and the foresight, or maybe the insight and foresight too, to have been able to take those teachings in Tibetan, a language they didn't know, didn't understand, some of them never learned it, and still were able to learn the concepts of what those masters were carrying out of Tibet, and put them in a language that here we are, a bunch of people who mostly speak English or Western languages as our first languages. None of us here speaks Tibetan, right? Not one, no. Here we are, able to practice and study the Dharma, and not just the teachings that we could put forth in daily life, but also to understand how it is that the Buddha established the Sangha to really preserve and carry on this tradition. So we need the fourfold Sangha, as we all know, fully ordained male and female monastics, as well as male and female lay practitioners. It takes all of us. And so to come together to explore monastic life in this day and age, 21st century, United States of America, here we are, to do our best, not to take for granted the causes unfathomable. We cannot begin to unravel the threads of how it is that we are here today. And whatever choice people make, whether people decide that they want to ordain or they come to a conclusion that they don't, that's not even relevant. What's important is to look at the opportunity to explore, to kind of have that we have this place to be able, and the conditions to be able to look at the whole spectrum of the Buddhist teachings, not just, having a Lama visit the Dharma Center every 3 months, which is also a fabulous opportunity. I do not want to underrate that in any way, shape, or form. But the opportunity to really explore monastic life is so rare, so unique, so precious, and we've done it together in a very beautiful way. And so as we go forward, some of us will stay here, some of us will go back, some of us will come back, Some of us will come back and stay. Some of us will come back and visit many times. As long as we recall the determination of those people, I mean, and before the Tibetans, how did it even get to Tibet? I mean, think of the determination of all those beings who practiced the Dharma and would not let it go, even at the cost of their life, which we say in many of our prayers, which we say in many of our commitments. But to think about, even at the cost of my life, here I am with this opportunity to study the Buddha's teachings, to enact them to the best of my ability to realize them in this life, and also not to forget that we are carrying it forward for those who come behind us. Because we make prayers that may the teachings never decline, right? And why would they not decline? Because we're practicing. Why would they decline? Because we stop. So this is our real, that's the message to go forward. Hold that aspiration, however it acts in this life, doesn't matter. But that we are determined to keep the Dharma in our heart always and to enact the principles to embody the Buddhist teachings to the best of our ability. That's the point of the whole program. It's the point of Sravasti Abbey. It's the point of the Dharma, I think. Yeah.